So, Robert, here at the Edison tournament in Oviedo at Versus Games, you just got top 4. What'd you play and how was your experience?
So I played Disaster Dragons with the Dark package. Great experience. Versus Games is where I play every single week for locals Edison format. We play at Tuesdays at 7 p.m. If you live in the area, Central Florida, come out. We want more people. The staff here is amazing. Everyone was great. I didn't have a single mean opponent or nasty opponent. It was great. Everyone was super nice. Excited to play here, to play some Edison. Super fun. Think about getting into the format? Do it. It's a great time.
In a room filled with Blackwings, Heroes, and an abundance of other meta decks, you brought Disaster Dragon. What was the consensus behind this pick?
Sure. So in my experience, I've never done well with Blackwings. Hero B, I always thought was kind of boring. I didn't really want to play it, which is a bad excuse not to play a deck, but it just wasn't really up my alley. And I wanted to play a deck that didn't auto-lose to Deck Devastation Virus while also playing Deck Devastation Virus. So I was really settling between Vayu and this, but I saw James Ark, who plays in the Edison War League, posted a Dark Dragons list that inspired me to play the deck. I thought it was just a really cool package. I made a few changes, maybe 7, 8 cards, and it just played really well for me today.
And you were undefeated in Swiss, correct?
Correct, I was 8-0.
8-0, and then the top 16, top 8, and then we just lost in the top 4 feature, right?
Lost to Blackwings. He had a great hand, and he's a really nice guy.
All right, well, we're going to get into the profile. Do you have any shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, of course. First off, Versus Games. Like I said, this is my stomping grounds. Favorite place to play. Everyone's super dope. Shout out to the staff. Shout out to the judges. Shout out to Keegan. Shout out to Steven, who helped organize the event. Shout out to my locals homies. Jose's over here. Shout out to my fiance Lauren for coming out and supporting. She's wonderful. And everyone else who watched me play out my matches. I really appreciate you supporting and just watching.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and get into the list and see what you played.
Sure. So we are playing 3 red meds. Reason to play the deck. Definitely the best dragon you can play. 3 wyverns. Obviously, you send these with Future Fusion, banish them during the end phase to bring back a red med, and they also have some other uses in the deck, which I'll get through. Next are 3 debris dragons. You need to have a certain level of dragons in your deck to banish 4 red med if you open them in your hand. Debris works well with some of the monsters that we play in the deck that I'll show later on. And we're just playing 1 Quacky Miru Drago. A lot of people cite this as the reason to play the deck besides the red meds, because it's so powerful against Vayu Turbo, Blackwings, and Fairies. But because we are specialing so many darks in this deck, we're only playing 1 and we're siding the other 2. So that's the Dragon package, only 10. Next we're playing 3 Raikos. A lot of people, if you'll look at the online deck list for Disaster Dragons, play Snowman Eaters to go with the Debris. Because I am milling so many cards and trying to, because I'm playing Dark Arm Dragon in my deck, which I'll get to, being able to mill cards and pop back row to set up for a big play is more important than Snowman Eater just trying to pop a monster. So this doubles as filling your graveyard, but also popping back row, which is what it mostly did for me in the day. Next are 2 Caius. So the idea of this deck is you're playing Disaster Dragons, but you're not playing any of the bad dragons. So you're not playing Totem Dragon, you're not playing Prime Material Dragon, you're playing better cards instead, like Caius, no Mass Dragon. You're playing Caius, Plague Spreader, Dark Arm Dragon, the cards that generate a lot of value that everyone recognizes as good cards in Edison format. By cutting the fodder type cards, you're instead creating a deck that only has gas. You're never drawing these like mediocre cards you don't really want to draw. So 2 Caius, self-explanatory, very good. 1 Dark Arm Dragon, one of the best cards in the deck, obviously, and a big reason to play the deck. What you can do is activate Future Fusion, send 3 red meds and 2 wyverns, and then drop dead. And then you don't even have to bring back the red med that turn. Instead, you can set up Raiko and try to set up for a bigger play the next turn. Just very powerful, very good. We're playing Spear Reaper, which goes well with the Debris Dragons. If you want to make Black Rose or Ancient Fairy Dragon, it's also really good to just force out a Deep Prison and rip a card from your opponent's hand. Card Trooper for more milling, also another Debris Dragon target. We're playing Gores and Trag. So something that came up a lot today is I played 2 other players playing Disaster Dragon and 1 Dragon Turbo player. Trigodia pitching Red Med to steal my opponent's Red Med came up multiple times. This deck, you know, with Trag, it just makes the Dragon matchups super easy, and it's also good to discard Darks to steal monsters to set up another Dark Arm Dragon play. And last, Plague Spreader. We're playing a lot of milling cards. It helps set up for Dark End Dragon using Caius. You can help manipulate your graveyard for darks for Dark End or for Dark Arm Dragon. It helps you access Goyo and Brio, which you can't make with Debris Dragon. So I'm playing 3 upstarts and 1 allure. Future Fusion's the best card in the deck, and you want to draw it every single game. So you play these so that you can dig to it faster. And something that's underrated is in these really long tournaments where you're playing 10 rounds, 11 rounds, 12 rounds, sideboarding is a mental fatigue that wears on you. And what makes it really easy is every single sideboard, my sideboarding plan starts with these 4 come out. And I just bring in cards that are good in the matchup. I don't have to cut any of the engine. I don't consider that engine. Instead, I get to cut cards that are just there to help me different Future Fusion that can instead be real cards in games 2 and 3. Playing Future Fusion, you reveal 5-headed dragon. You sit. Yeah. This is the reason to play the deck. Playing BrainCon, Charge, MST, and Heavy. Insane card. We're playing Raikos. We're not playing any Lilas or Erins or Janes in the sideboard. Just the 3 Raikos. The milling is usually good enough that you don't really. It's good enough that you really don't need to play more than the 3. I thought about putting a Jane in the deck, but I ultimately decided that it was kind of too slow for what I was trying to do, and I'd rather just dedicate that to other cards. And then the last card for the spells is Lightning Vortex. So James Ark in his list was playing 2 Book of Moons, which I ended up cutting because he's also playing a super nimble Munga Hamster. And because I'm not playing that extra flip monster, I didn't feel like the Book of Moons have enough value. But I still wanted a main deck way to get rid of Christia and other annoying monsters that I couldn't deal with if I couldn't special summon. So I played Lightning Vortex, which you can use to pitch either Red Med or Wyvern, and then in phase bring them back, right? There's a lot of cards that you don't mind discarding in this deck, and people often are expecting it game 1, and usually not even game 2. So it overperformed all day, really good card.
Insane.
For the traps, we're playing 2 Dust Tornado. The deck wants to set up really big plays, so Dust Tornado helps you hit the back row before you go for the red meds and go for game. 2 Bottomless Trap Hole, it's good trap card. Playing Solemn, Torrential. I'm sorry, this is the sideboard actually. We're playing Solemn, Mirror Force, Trap Dust Shoot, and then 1 Compulse. These are all staples. I mean, any kind of trap deck you're playing them. And Compulse is an interesting card. It's very multifunctional. A lot of times people try to Bottomless Trap Hole your red meds, and this can save it. And if you have another dragon, you can resummon it. It was really good all day. You can hit Raikos that are face down, Snowman Eaters, and just continue to push the damage. So works really well.
Awesome. How many cards in the main deck?
40 cards.
40 cards?
Yep.
And for the side?
Yep, side pretty straightforward. We're playing the 2 extra Dragos and the sideboard. Card's really good at certain matchups. Like I said, we're special summoning a lot of darks throughout the game, so we don't want to main all 3 of these. But certainly against Vayu and other fairies, you do want to bring Lightsworn. You do want to bring these in because oftentimes they can just spell game. We're playing 2 Snowman Eaters. Hero Beat and Black Wings was everywhere today. I played against, I think, 3 Black Wings and 1 Hero Beat. This pairs well with both Debris Dragon and also makes it so they can't, Gem Spark during the damage step against Hero Beat, and it helps clear the way for your dragons. Playing 2 DD Crow. So this card is always good in a lot of decks, but it's especially good in any deck that plays Dark Arm Dragon because it can help you manipulate the graveyard. I've had to use it to banish just the trap, just to get my 3rd dark, to summon Dark Arm Dragon and win the game. Obviously good against Vayu. It's good against the Mirror. It's good against Dragon Turbo. Just outstanding card. Playing 1 Soul Taker and 1 Burial. So Soul Taker is there for Fossil Dyna, another opposing Drago, Arc Lord Christia, anything that would stop me from special summoning doing my plays. And then Burial is interesting. A thought I had is I want to be able to pop off as much as I can with Red Med during the end phase. But if my opponent has Bottomless Trap Hole or Torrential, what can happen is you'll bring back both Red Meds to try to push for a big push the next turn to win the game, and they'll Torrential or Bottomless. And what you can do is end phase, activate Burial, you send the Wyverns back to the graveyard, the Red Meds back to the graveyard, and then you could do it again because it's still the same end phase. So it didn't really come up all day. I'm not sure I would play it again, but I think the ideology behind it was solid. And then we were playing Deck Devastation, Virus, and Mind Crush. We're playing a lot of big darks, the dragons, the Caius, a lot of synchros, and Mind Crush all obviously pairs well with Deck Devastation Virus because you get to see their hand. It's also good just against heroes. We're playing Starlight Road for Black Wings and Lightsworn, anything that would destroy multiple cards. Playing 3 Pulling the Rugs for Diva Heroes, Hero Beat with Diva, and for Frogs. I only played 1 Frog player the entire time in top 16, so this wasn't super relevant, but you gotta have it just in case you don't want to lose the Frogs. And then the last sideboard card is we're playing this was supposed to be in the main deck, I'm sorry. Torrential Tribute is the last sideboard card. Because we're summoning so much and having such a big board presence with the Drago, the Red Meds, you don't really want to play this unless you're playing against a deck that's just spamming the board. You'd rather maintain your board presence, and I brought it in a lot. I might made it in the future, but I think having an aside was solid for this event. And one quick mistake, I actually did have a Call of the Haunted in the main. My bad. It's good. I didn't do it during the tournament, just during the deck profile, but it's good to get back Red Med. You continue your plays, keep pushing. The deck is all about putting on pressure and clearing your opponent's background, trying to go for game. So.
Yeah, so the Torrential was on the side and Call Haunted in the main deck, right?
Yep, sorry about
just
that.
For clarity, you're fine. Free extra deck?
Sure. So pretty standard extra deck. We're playing the 5-headed dragon for your reveal off Future Fusion. What'll come up a lot is this will come out. You might see your Future Fusion MST'd or Heavy Storm Wear a turn later. You can get it back with Red Med because it's successfully fusion summoned via Future Fusion. We're playing Armory Arm, Ally of Justice Catastor, Magical Android. You can make Armory Arm using Ryko plus Plague. You have Card Trooper and the Spirit Reaper plus Plague for this and this. These two didn't come up. This actually did come up. Definitely worth playing. For the 6s, for the generic 6s, we're playing Brio and Goyo. Staples, amazing. You make them with Plague. You can't make them with Debris. Playing Darkened Dragon, Colossal Fighter, and Mistworm. So this was a late inclusion. It was originally a Thought Ruler Archfiend, but enough situations came up where I had a Ryko on board, and I could summon a Debris to bring back Spirit Reaper, Snowman Eater, or Card Trooper to be able to make it. I never make this guy ever, and I never made Thought Ruler, so I decided to cut the Thought Ruler for this. For the Dragon Synchro package, we're playing 2 Iron Chains that you make using Debris Dragon plus Ryko. We're playing 1 Ancient Fairy Dragon, 1 Black Rose Dragon, 1 Stardust Dragon, and then 1 Red Dragon Archfiend. All very relevant, all very good. You gotta play them all.
Insane. Again, a tremendous performance here in a room filled with a bunch of meta decks. You piloted dragons. Is there going to be any changes you're making to the deck moving forward?
Yeah, like I said, I might put the Torrential back in the main. I'm not sure what I would cut for it, but it was a pretty solid deck list. I wouldn't change too much.
Insane. Again, going undefeated, you showcased exactly what the deck can do. Do you have any final remarks?
No. Thanks for the deck profile. Thank you for everyone who showed up today, the amazing judges, the amazing staff, Keegan, Steven, everyone who worked really hard to put this on. I really appreciate it.
Again, thank you again, Robert. Congratulations.
Thank you.